Since the 1970s, almost all football clubs have had some kind of sponsor emblazoned across their chest. Over the years, there have been some incredibly strange brands and companies that have popped up on shirts across the footballing world. Join me, RMFC, as we look at 5 of the strangest kit sponsors. Between 2003 and 5, the La Liga outfit signed a deal with Columbia Pictures, which saw the red and white stripes of Atletico emblazoned with the latest film releases of the time. From Spider-Man 2 with a web around it, to Triple X2, a pre-Liverpool Fernando Torres probably coming out on top when wearing some of the most blandest looking plain white background heat press logos on his chest. Columbia wasted no time in roping in some of the biggest stars on their roster to have pictures taken with the Atletico strips, such as Will Smith and Harrison Ford. The deal ended ahead of the 2006-07 season, with Columbia being replaced by Kia Motors. Staying in Spain briefly for number 4, it's Getafe and Stevenage FC, 2 clubs that I'm sure are seldom mentioned in the same sentence. Burger King having sponsored both clubs, although not at the same time. Getafe started their stint in the 2009-10 season. Not the worst kit sponsor ever, RMFC, I hear you cry? Well, look at this. The King himself even attended a few matches. A royal farce, if you ask me. Getafe's BK deal ended in 2012. However, Football League fodder Stevenage took on the fast food chain in 2019. Burger King attempted to make, and this is real by the way, the club one of the biggest clubs in gaming after running a Stevenage challenge, where FIFA players could win food based on their exploits using the club within the game. The club went viral after getting over 1 million online impressions as part of the challenge. Fernando Machado, chief executive of Restaurant Brands International, told the BBC in 2020, "If you're a crazy soccer fan that loves playing FIFA, it doesn't bother you to play with Stevenage if you're not a Stevenage fan." Okay mate, each to their own. Stevenage women's team had the King logo replaced with Burger Queen, which is a nice touch. The club now have Xsolla, a video games commerce company, after having Grilla on their kits in the 23-24 season. Bet Burger King wish they thought of that first. Newcastle up next. When the North East club revealed their newest shirt sponsor, Wonga, before the 2013-14 Premier League season, it's safe to say the fans weren't delighted, considering at the time the region was hit with low insolvency figures and the company had earned a rightful reputation as effectively loan sharks with better marketing. UK MPs lambasted the news, and the Newcastle striker Papis Cisse even pulled out of the club's pre-season tour of Portugal on religious grounds in 2013, stating he would not wear the logo. However, he backed down later on, going on to score 2 goals in a season that saw the Magpies finish 10th. Wonga were later dropped by Newcastle in 2016, after 4 years of perhaps one of the most tone-deaf sponsorship deals in recent Premier League history. They also joined the ranks of 11 companies that have sponsored Premier League clubs that now cease to exist. 1980s ballad chart toppers Wet 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 linked up with Scottish Football League's stalwarts Clydebank FC for a 4-year sponsorship in 1993. With the band hailing from the area, it made sense to try and help their hometown club as they attempted to get out of the second tier of Scottish football. The club were meant to have received a percentage of shirt sales at the group's gigs, but reportedly this didn't materialise. You mean music fans didn't want to wear some random Scottish second division top? Shocker. The band may have topped the charts during the deal's run, but the club itself dropped down the league and were relegated to the second division at the end of the 1996-07 campaign. Love wasn't all around at the end of that sponsorship, I can tell you. In at number 1, it's West Brom's 2018 deal with Ideal Boilers. That, at the time of making this video, is still going strong. The logo itself isn't the worst we've seen, the kits aren't that bad either, but the thing that makes it weird to me is the mascot that came along with it. Boiler Man was unveiled to the West Brom faithful in 2018. Twitter went into meltdown, calling him an absolute belter and a highlight of the year, among some other less nice things. However, things heated up in April 2024 that Boiler Man had been axed by the club, and the man behind the boiler, Joe James O'Neill, took to his X account to explain the situation. The mascot has not been out for a while now, and this is something that has been completely out of my control, and I'm unable to comment more on the reasons why. O'Neill went on to explain that he'd be stepping down from the role. However, he was happy that he could return to watching the Baggies from the stands. The relationship with the club having gone off the boil which is less than ideal. I promise that's all the boiler-based puns in the video. I hope you enjoyed this roundup of some strange sponsors. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share. It really helps the channel grow. Football is eternal, and I'll catch you again soon.